Welcome back for the last time this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American ESL Pro League. Heading to our final map of the night here between Splyce and OpTic Gaming. That's going to be here on Cobblestone.
Yeah, a map that OpTic really likes. So this is a rough situation for Splyce to be in, especially after that first half performance. Because I mean, we mentioned a couple times throughout that match that beatdown is just Splyce had advantages, a lot of them throughout that match, and they just could never win in any kind of situation. So OpTic just seems to be playing at a level above them for the moment. And yeah, this is a map that historically they've had success on. It's one of the maps they feel really comfortable on, especially at these interregional matchups, the other North American teams. This is a map that Shazam personally plays very well on. So gonna be tough all around for Splyce to come back from that blowout they just experienced.
So let's get to it, guys. Once again, Splyce is going to be starting off on the terrace side. OpTic Gaming starting off on the counter terrace, and we get directly into things with quite a bit of aggression from the OpTic side, as they're going to go for a counter boost up to the drop room. Shazam waiting now for these players to peek back out. They try to find the head, and they do catch it first on the Shazam, but there's a nade that broils back in there, brings Arya down so low, and then Stanislaw and Daps just clean up the remainder of it. Rush even coming in. Jason didn't even fully peek out towards drop. They take him down, but starts off great for Splyce, goes bad so quickly, and now it's down to a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, what can Davey even do? Like, what are you going to do, Davey, trying to come down drop like this? You are about to get annihilated if you go for that. So he's actually going to, be a little bit more passive, allow Abe to grab some attention, and he does that perfectly. Takes out Rush. Bomb is still down. Decoy comes out. Abe tries to work his way in, and there comes Davey. So actually some decent trades almost come out. Daps at 4 HP. Davey just couldn't find that kill. Daps gets both of those. Saves the day, actually. That would have been a tough spot for Abe to be in. So 1-0 for OpTic.
And they're going to start off well. The investment will be coming in for these guys. Shazam going for the scout, and we actually see the Mag 7 by 2 on the NAF, which he'll be playing probably either towards the drop or broken wall. Whereas for Splyce, they're actually going to take this round pretty light, despite not getting the plant in the previous one. Just going for a couple P250s, a single smoke on Arya, and a single flashbang on Professor Chaos. So with everybody now heading back over here towards the mid connector, expect this to be a pretty direct play towards the A-bomb site.
Daps is going to just delay with Molotov. Sit back, bide his time, and there's a nice shot. He just swings out. Arya's not even expecting it whatsoever. He's still basically the only one advanced in that position. Rush is at the top of the ramp, ready to peek and support him, and he's doing just that. They also have one member inside the bomb site. Jason does take out Rush, though. That's from long range, but there's been a lot of damage dealt.
Now Daps is just going to be able to go crazy, picking up 3 kills, 2 of them very easy finishing offs. And then you've got Stanislaw to come in there with the final one, but Daps with a big round there to stop the entire play from happening with 4 kills on his own. Pretty clean one for the guys on OpTic Gaming. And now Splyce, they went for the big save on the previous round. Looks like they're going to be doing it again this time. So definitely a big focus on that first big buy on the coming up on the 4th round after this.
Yeah, shotgun's on the board for NAF, and I would assume he's going to have that close towards broken wall. Rush is still watching for drop. That's the big thing to note. Rush had a sick first map. He was on fire, on point. And if he's watching drop, that's the crucial point of this map. I mean, that's one of the biggest places you can expose the defense. And if he's going to be watching that, if he's going to be playing just as well as he was in the first map, which is just straight dominating these guys, then it's going to be tough for Splyce to find some openings. This time, Davey comes down drop, but he's got no one with him. So even though he falls, there's no ability to trade these kills. So all of a sudden, a massive deficit.
Arya also gets hit by the shotgun, so he'll be down at 20 HP, having to fall back and away from this. The entire team giving up on the platform push. A couple players trying to line up to move themselves in towards drop. Rush will be ready for this one, though, sitting just outside of it. As soon as he hears the moving down, peeks out, finds that first kill, a second one, and a third easy follow-up for him to grab. Mr. Chaos, Arya, Jason are all dead. And Daps, finding the final kill, cleans it up nicely. But of course, Splyce took these rounds very light indeed, so there wasn't a whole lot to be expected. Now we see the guns getting into their hands, and this is where they really come out to play.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, small detail to pick on, but I mean, actually, in reality, it's not that small. But Davey coming down drop like 30 seconds before the rest of his team tried to go down drop. If that was the end game, why not just wait? Why not, have your life? Oh, okay, Rush. Well, you just threw a Molotov into the ceiling, but I mean, why not at least use your life to help trade kills for your teammates? So just throwing it away for them to go at that position anyways. Nice pop flash. Everyone's completely blind. That's going to give them the pick they needed. And it's going to give them 2, actually. Rush and Depths both get blinded by that pop flash. So timing doesn't work out in their favor, but there's Stanislaw to pick up the slack. Gets that first kill. He's going to get Arya as well. And no progression made from Splyce. Yeah, Stan is just a tank warrior right now. But Davey has come down drop. He's trying to prevent rotations. Shazam has gotten over towards the A bomb site. And I believe that Davey knows this, because he has called for Professor Chaos to rotate back around. So 2-on-1 for Splyce.
So they're going to put that bomb over towards B. Shazam trying to figure out exactly what's going on, but he should have a pretty good idea. That has been modeled off through the main doorway and moves back over towards it, waiting for the peek to come out from Davey, but also being very cautious to himself being flanked from drop. Now they move out, and he's been dinked. They spot him first, so they take him down and clean up that round quite nicely after their initial attempt to pinch their drop. Gets shut down there by Stanislaw, and almost the entire offensive gets killed by Stanislaw. Good attempt from him, but the rest of the team falling a little bit short, unfortunately.
Shazam now has the AWP, though. And Rush has his M4 as well, just keeping that SMG in the last round. So, I mean, stronger buy that Splyce is going to be going against here. All of them huddled over towards the B bomb site. No one even messing with A. So they are going to be going at this AWP from Shazam. That's playing at the statue. He's a little bit blind. Smokes have come out towards the broken wall. No one's crossed over. He takes a shot through the smoke, but 4th player now cheating over for OpTic to this B bomb site.
Shazam's completely blinded inside of a smoke too. Won't really be able to do too much. But look, they're jumping over this Molly, and this Molly doing a whole load of damage. AA quick on the trigger though, finds Shazam. And now they're jumping over the broken wall, trying to get themselves onto this site. Rush trying to do some work with a little peeks here and there. He finds a trade kill to take down Arya. A second as he still holds from a drop, and combos that into a third, 2 shutting down Habe. And then Daps just rolls in, finds David. They've also figured out where Jason R is, so Rush is going to absolutely dominate this round just outside of that area there from drop. Picks up 3 kills, and Daps comboing that for 2 as well. A great hold from the guys on OpTic. They do allow Splyce to get the plant, but they hold quite nicely. Now they're going to pick up their 4th round.
Resets the money, but this might still be a buy out of Splyce if they're feeling a little frisky. They can pick up 3 AK-47s, decent nades behind it, and Tech 9s, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So they're not going to give up on it quite yet. Don't want to relinquish the power of the economy over towards OpTic. So they're still going to struggle forward into this round. Shazam's op was salvaged, but the scary thing is Rush, like I mentioned, coming into this map looking just as hot as he was on Cash. And those 3 kills so quickly just basically ended the round before Splyce really had a chance to play the post plant.
Splyce lining up most of their players again to just go directly in towards that B bomb site, but another nade's tossed over drop. Connects pretty heavily onto both Davey and Professor Chaos. Now the members of Splyce are going to try to push through. So it was a great flash to the player that's on platform itself, but it's going to expire, and they don't even check it. So he's going to go down. Now if he even picks up a 2nd kill after this one, and he's got the support of Shazam. Jason R can have used that smoke a little, but I think they already know he's sitting behind the box, and they're waiting for him to re-peek it in an attempt to retreat. Connecting the flash. He's completely blind. He's the last player surrounded. There's nothing he's going to be able to do here. I take that back, actually. Shazam misses his shot, and he connects that with a nice little one-tap there to take down Shazam. Now the question is, where do I go from here? Because he also has to deal with the counter boost that's just been established there through Stanislaw too. So he's on a ticking time bomb, essentially. Has to jump off where he's going to be overwhelmed. So he starts to peek out a little bit and is hoping for someone to peek that he can find another headshot connection towards. But it's just not happening. So he's going to fall back a little bit. Still no dice in terms of catching these players out in the open. Not a whole lot he can do. He's got a lot of time, nowhere to run towards. So it's all a matter of time.
Yeah, this is a good play from OpTic as well. I mean, you know he's got to commit to the bomb site. Stan's not even pushing forward on this flank until just now. Now he spots him out, so they even know where he is now. He knows he can't fall away. 20 seconds left. And he's not going to be given any one-on-ones to alleviate this. So Shazam's going to be more than likely the only kill he finds, and they're going to be able to salvage that AWP. So good round from OpTic. It is now 5-1, and that completely breaks Splyce. They do have sitting around $2,000 on most of their players, but that's not enough to even force buy if they wanted to. The money's now starting to build up on the OpTic side, and they have all the Molotovs, the nades they could want.
And for Splyce, completely broken. Same thing as those Yeeker rounds. Really not going to bring a whole lot to the table this time. Not that they really could. 2 players not even going to buy anything at all. Just going to stick to their Glocks, and for the rest, they've got P250s on the board yet again. But putting themselves up initially, just watching out in case there's a big push through the platform itself to try and catch these guys inside of the hallways. Then going to reestablish themselves just outside of the mid connector. We'll make a big push through there to maybe take control of that A-bomb site.
Yeah, this is going to get spotted out, though. And no nades
Yeah.
once it does get spotted out, by the way. I mean, they have nothing. Even if they try to start making it up the ramp, there's no smokes to block off any rotations for these choke points, so it's going to be a shooting gallery for OpTic. And this is going to be mostly like the best case scenario for him to just rack up some frags. It's going to be dabs for the spot, and he does see him, gets that first kill, hiding a little bit. There comes the Molotov. Dabs just needs to hold an angle. Pop Flash comes out, but actually they lose the battles. So allow too much space, and now Rush is here on the rotation. He's not going to miss any shots. Sprays down 2, and a 30 snaps over, doesn't get flanked out. Rush is just playing out of his mind at the moment. Another 3-kill round for him. He's up to 12. Meanwhile, it's Daps at 13 and 2. So despite losing those 8 defenders in an unlikely fashion, Rush is there to save the day.
Already caught them off guard a little bit there because he pressed up the ramp pretty quickly over sitting behind the tree, and I don't think either of the actual defenders of the site noticed from OpTic, so he was able to sneak through with a couple of kills, and that caught them off guard. But as we already saw, Rush just cleans things up as he's absolutely on point in today's matches. Now we go into the next play round for Splyce, though. Got all the smokes and flashbangs they could want to use, but in terms of mollies and HEs, they're still missing a lot of that heavy utility, so if OpTic are just going to sit themselves down here, if this gets into a sort of stalemated situation, then more than likely OpTic are just going to win it out because of the more passive setup they've been playing towards when it gets tenser.
Slow pace this time, 3 members for Splyce. They switch things up a little bit. They're going to put some pressure on the safe bomb site, or try to. OpTic are spotting things from far back. Daps is at the APC. He's just going to be able to spot an angle. Very hard for them to instantly kill him. And with Stanislaw boosted up, he's going to be able to spin and provide support. Davy's still playing drop as he usually does. AV out towards long B, or Arya out towards long B. This could end up into some kind of an A split if Splyce actually gets into the position where that can execute. But, I mean, they take half control of A hulls and just fall away. So Jason R is just going to be on a big flanking position as they circle back towards the B site, but the clock is running low. Naf is at the B bomb site, Shazam at the B bomb site. They both have Molotovs. So once this execute comes in, once it's signaled, it's going to be so difficult. And in fact, if they throw both their Molotovs now, this is going to start running down the clock very, very much.
30 seconds left on the clock now. Splyce still is yet to even get a hint of aggressiveness moving here to get themselves either onto the B or the A bomb site. They've moved back now, down to 20. Oh, this is going to be rough if this doesn't go flawlessly as soon as they start. Even OpTic are trying to figure out what the hell's going on here, but it just gets ripped apart initially. Aid picking up at least 1 kill here, but it's traded out so fast. Now with 6 seconds left, the bomb's on the ground. Professor Chaos just going to roll in here, finds 1 kill, but he's traded out. Big quest there was mainly to die just to make sure he didn't end up losing all that money, so he's going to end up going down. But OpTic, they don't even really have to do much that round. They just sit back and wait it out.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even get challenged. And that's the thing. Splyce can't spend their entire round walking from one end of the map to the other. You know, just gaining half control of halls, not applying pressure anywhere, not even going for any kills, and expect to execute against superior firepower in terms of nades and the AWP, and expect things to go flawlessly. So they're looking like this pause is at least, it's coming to a point where they can kind of try and fix the situation. 1-7, there's still 7 rounds to play in the half, so this next gun round has got to be very effective for them.
The pause from Splyce, not really a whole lot they're going to be able to force in for this round, so this is going to be one of those situations where we see them go for the pause and they'll sort of let it set in for this round and then actually try to execute it on to the next round, and they won't really be able to bring all that much to the table heading into this 9th round. OpTic are starting to dominate, but actually there's been in most of these gun rounds at least, there's been a decent amount enough of trades to where OpTic don't necessarily have this huge bank for every single player. Most of these guys are probably in a territory to where they can free buy fully for one round and then maybe force up for the next one, and some are even below that. So if Splyce can start putting some rounds onto the board consistently, then we could see them maybe bounce back in this half, but it needs to start right here, right now, because it's getting into a very dangerous territory with OpTic up by 6 rounds.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it probably needs to start next round, because this is going to be a bit of a force buy at most, or a half buy with Tech 9s and armor. But yeah, the big problem is they're not even having much success. It's not like they're having opportunities at winning. These past 4 rounds, we've only seen six OpTic members fall in the past 4 rounds. So the money is good on the OpTic side, and Splyce just hasn't been able to really sniff a bomb plant since round 5 when they got 1 down, but like was blatantly going to be a loss. It wasn't even like they had a chance for the post plan after that.
We've also been seeing OpTic play super passively because Splyce, at the same time, has also been trying to employ the same type of strategy where they wait for OpTic to get aggressive and then they find an opening kill or two to give them an advantage. But OpTic is not feeding them that at all. They're sitting back, they're playing super passive. It's running them the clock so much, and Splyce is left with zero choice but to just try and execute on these sites with minimal time left on the clock in quite a few of the rounds. So as they push in, they're stretched for time. They don't exactly know where the positions of the members of OpTic are because they haven't really made very good attempts to get intel as to where they position themselves on the site. So because of all that, they're basically going in blind on so many of these rounds as well. And they'll just get mowed by OpTic because of that.
And on top of that, I mean, they can afford to play passive because they know Splyce isn't even like, why would you look at the last round with 25 seconds left and they're executing, the Molotovs come out and just delay everything. So why not just stay passive? Why not just use your nades for when you know the execute's going to come? Because Splyce isn't showing any indication of trying to take a fight, of trying to get a pick, of trying to do things that can force rotations, that can pull the defense apart and find advantageous fights. They're just kind of waiting around, making sure they don't die, and then executing. So there's really no reason for OpTic to change what they're doing whatsoever. Splyce is going to have to figure out some way to get engaged in the early portion of the rounds.
So we're still waiting for Splyce to get this unpause going now. They've bought up, and now we see it. Finally, they've called for the unpause. So let's get into it. It's just going to be a Tech 9 force round this time. Jason R invests into a Deagle. Very minimal utility, so this is going to be another play where if they actually kick it up a notch, they'll go straight for it into one of these sites. But if they stick to this passive play, it probably will not work out very well for them because of the lack of utility.
Shazam switches it up and goes towards the long A. Oh, and he misses the shot. Now he's going to get pushed out. Professor Cass does win that battle. Looked like it was going to be a pretty textbook lineup, but Naf is pushed upper B. That's something you can't really account for. Arya does make it down drop, but that's the bomb. He gets slaughtered, so now it's in the middle of nowhere. Naf, 1 HP. He does get away. Nothing going right for Splyce at the moment.
Ironically enough, just as we were talking about the members of OpTic playing super passively, now they just decide to go full aggression on this round. Splyce are holding back, and they actually do get a couple trades going here and there. They almost take down Naf, but he's still alive at 1 HP, and now he can just sit back and wait for his teammates to sort of bail him out of these situations or wait until the very last moment to go for these peaks. Now Professor Chaos and Abe will be trying to group up for one last attempt to push into this site, but they've lost control of the bomb, so OpTic can now just sit inside of drop room and wait this out.
Yeah, this is like deja vu to the pistol round, where the bomb is dropped in a position where it's almost impossible for Splyce to actually retrieve it. The Rush is going to smoke it out again. There's an AWP on Professor Chaos, which might be like the worst gun you can use to try and retake drop, so they're going to have to go towards long B. And actually, Naf with 1 HP, he doesn't really want to peek this very much. He's basically just hiding, so it's going to have to be Stanislaus' shoulder peek, and that might actually give the AWP a little bit of an advantage here. They haven't spotted it out quite yet. No indication. And Abe is dropped out as well. There's the kill, so now they know. Now it's all on Naf. When does he decide to peek? Where does he decide to peek? And he's going to peek the wrong way. So Rush is going to have a big job to do. Pop Flash comes out. He recovers onto Abe, and he even gets Professor Chaos. So this is becoming a general theme, is Rush with big plays at crucial moments in these rounds.
So he'll close it out again, and now we see Splyce with the big buy. So that last one was more of a setup for this round now, as we can see the big investment coming in for these players. Full AK so far. Jason R also going to invest in his own AK. Still no op sighted on this terrace side, just as of yet, as they're just going to go full on with the rifles. Let's take a look at the strat as they're splitting themselves up yet again. 3 players moving themselves towards middle, whereas 2 are just going to head into the halls.
This time it's Daps speaking. Takes a little bit of a gamble. Drops a Molotov. Professor Cass is going to run right through it, but Daps is ready and waiting, so there's a lot of utility that just fell on Professor Chaos in this buy they actually had to have. And no progress gained with that life. That's the crucial part. The life is the most important. They don't get the trade, they don't even move forward because that Molotov stopped the other 2 members.
So this is another problem for Splyce too, is when they do lose an initial battle and they're down by a player, now they're just like frozen. Now they're like, oh, what do we do? And they take so long for this team to communicate amongst themselves and figure out how exactly they want to make this play happen. They're just now, like 20 seconds after the kills actually happen, starting to shift their players into positions to make a take happen. 2 of these guys getting ready to go down drop, and they're also moving 2 back in so they can make a platform push too. But this has taken so much extra time, and they're still not really committing to this as yet. He's just now gone through drop. The other 3 are still not even really in a pressure situation as yet. They're just now starting to push themselves out towards platform. So in they go, but this is a very last-minute decision, it seems, from the team, and then Naf is going to be able to abuse this as he got himself into a position up on platform. He shuts down Abe. There's Rush yet again as he finds Davey. The drop play's dead. as he was the one that did it very, very early on, and everything falls to Jason R for yet another time as he's stuck up here on platform, and he's going to be a dead man pretty quickly too.
Yeah, there's zero trading going on for Splyce, so very, very uncoordinated in their attacks and how they're trying to take map control, and they're just getting slaughtered. Well, I mean, one on X battles everywhere they go. So 1 denied now, and it's not looking likely they're going to be able to get too much more than this one round. Something massive has got to change. They've already used their pause, so they don't have time to really talk things over unless they take like a Titan timeout where they just sit and spawn with Glocks, but...
So Splyce this time moving all their players right out towards the B site to make a play for here, but they slow it down, keeping their time still, and get ready to make a push in, but it looks like it's probably actually going to come a lot earlier this time, but now they need to commit to it. They need to stick to this push and go for the full execution. 2 actually only on the B site itself, and there's not going to be any pressure from drop, it seems. Actually looks like Davy's rotating around now, so there'll be a bit of late pressure, but now we finally see a smoke setup coming in from Splyce. Not going to spot anyone on the site initially, and OpTic are holding back quite a bit, still playing very passively as Abe will be the player that picks up the first kill on a rush. Jason R pressing through the smoke, finding 2 more as he picks up Shazam, and now finally something has started to work here for Splyce. And as they move in, only 2 left alive. Daps watching out for a play from drop, hoping Davy's going to come right into his crosshairs, and he looks away. Probably the worst possible times. That's a free kill for Davy. Everything plays on a status law now. Nothing left he can really do about this, so he might just have to fall back in Saver, try to grab as many kills as he possibly can. It's only going to be 1. As after he takes down Professor Chaos, Davy shuts him out from the window.
And Splyce lives with 4 members alive as well, so they build up a lot of money. I mean, there's plenty of money on the CT side for them to buy into this round whatever they want. Even the next round, they'll be fine. But even if they win this, now Splyce has enough money to move forward with another buy. They also have an AWP in Professor Chaos's hand, so they're able to salvage that one off Shazam. So a little bit of life in Splyce here in the 10th round, or excuse me, the 11th round.
Now they're going to try the same thing that's worked previously. A little bit quicker this time, not taking as much of their time to try and set up smokes and whatnot, as there initially wasn't anything thrown against them. However, now they hold back a little bit. Nari's going to go for his own toss-ins. The rest of the team follows suit, and that's a perfect pop flash. Abe's able to find Rush. 2 others are dropped behind the wall, and they should know they're there. They're flashed again, but no follow-up still, so they're going to give them time to recover. Shazam catching Ari out of the air, catching Abe as well. Jason R catching the trade as he shuts down Shazam, but he's dropped down, and he didn't even see Naf that was sitting right below. Naf gets 2 free kills. Professor Chaos and Jason R, both are dead. It's all on Davy now. Gets the angle advantage, but it doesn't even matter. Naf finds a 3rd and just shuts down that round.
Splyce didn't realize that was 2 players boosted up, so when Shazam gets those 2 kills, they think he was the booster that put Rush up top. So pretty easy triple kill there for Naf. A little bit of trickery coming in, but this is that buy, like I said, off the back of a loss. Well, Professor Chaos, he gets a Tech 9 and a Smoke Flash, but he's got 1,500 left in the bank, so saving for something, or at least being conservative with his buy. And they're going to run right into the arms of Daps. Stanislaw also in danger. Stairs, he's going to get 1. They almost line up for him, but the spray control is perfect. He gets a triple kill. How many triple kills have we seen out of the OpTic Gaming members? That's going to be a stat that I want to look up when this match is over, because it's just too much. That's just a testament of how poor the trading has been for Splyce in this half.
So shredding them apart round after round, and it all falls into the hands of a single player to try and pull off an impossible clutch yet again. It's on Davy in a 1 versus 3. Got a lot of utility, a full utility kit actually, to try and clutch this. However, in terms of map control, he's got nothing to work with. And also in terms of intel, very, very little in terms of figuring out what's on that A-bomb site. And OpTic even assuming now that someone may have rotated off, so Nap's just going to reposition himself here on B and place himself in chicken coop, and we'll wait for the plant.
Yeah, Davey, you have, I mean...
I'm just going to move as slow as possible.
Oh, he's even got Rush. He's going to start getting aggressive and push for some intel. Now Rush is going to clear out the A-hall, so he's getting as far away from the B bomb site as possible. But Naf is going to be able to find this out pretty early on. Davey does have a Molotov to use. If Daf tries to stall for time, Davey can force him out of his position, but it's going to take time to clear everything out. So Shazam is already on the rotate over. Naf hiding behind you. Yep, and there it is. The Molotov comes out, and Naf just doesn't even care. So yeah, 11 rounds now for OpTic, and now it's a save. Now there's no money on Splyce.
It's all that build up for that, basically. Like he plays that so slowly, so carefully, and he just gets wrecked from like a single shot. So that doesn't work out very well. And now OpTic just have this huge lead yet again on this half for the final 2 rounds. Let's take a look and see where Splyce try to go towards.
decent nade damage done onto Arya, and they're in full buy mode, where they just have to get these last 2 rounds. Only have Tech 9s to use. Stan throws a grenade into the wall. Don't think it's gonna matter in the long run. Rush is still watching drop, but Splyce once again, they spread it across the map, don't do anything with it. Now they're gonna reconvene over towards the B bomb site. Minute and 15 seconds left. Rush is boosted up on the tree. And this is a situation they don't really have much. I mean, they have 2 Molotovs if they're gonna use one on the tree that might help out, but it is probably just gonna be that smoke execute they had success with last time.
But they'll take their time as they have been for a majority of this half. Now it starts to explode out towards drop, and Davey is going to go for the execution here on platform 2. Rush holds strong initially, picks up the 2 kills. Abe finding a trade, but Shazam still doing work with the op, and then Daps covering the remaining players that were moving out towards drop. Jason R, unsurprisingly, the player that's at the back of the pack yet again. It's a nice little tap there on the Dap to bring him down to 9 HP, but now where does he go? Doesn't have a gun. Doesn't have a real gun, I should say, and he's just going to roll out. He's tired of this. He's going to see exactly how many kills he can grab, but it won't be any. Daps will shut him down with his own gun. And OpTic lead 12-2 heading into the final round of the first half.
This is brutal. This is payback for the miner.
Brutal payback at that too.
I'm running out of adjectives to really describe it at this point.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
1 AK-47 onto Arya, and he's going to bring that over towards the B bomb site. He's all alone there. Everyone else is out towards A. Once again, Daps playing aggressive down mid initially. It's smoked off with a Molotov behind it. No one's going to run through that. And there goes the AK-47. 0 chance of that being salvaged. And the Tech 9s are going to... Looks like they want to attack A, but one's falling back, couple falling back. So changing their mind. It looked like that was a tactic to just say, all right, Arya, go just walk out B platform, see what you can get for us. And that'll be a fake if you get a kill. But if not, Davey's going to have to risk his life to go get that AK-47, and he's going to have to run through fire to do it, but he manages it well. Daps is about to have some pressure put on him, and there's no one here to bait for him, so he's just holding this corner. Swings out, finds Jason R, takes some early damage, but now the support comes in. Nice kill from PC. So the hit is onto this A site.
But there's going to be a quick rotation coming out of the members of OpTic. They try to get aggressive, though. One of the players actually pushing inside of Shed and missing his connection. That's Professor Chaos now has to fall back and take a little bit more of a defensive spot. Splyce even pulling away from this take completely, and is going to try to go for a wrap on B because Davey, in the meantime, has just waltzed onto the site. He's got it for free. Shazam still doing some work, but there's the surprise. Davey catching Naf, takes him down. And now they actually have a little bit of control to work with here as well in the final 3-on-3.
Just thinking of that meme, the surprise meme from Dexter. Good stuff. Rush on the big flank. He's going to have a low HP opponent. That's Abe watching to see if he's going to come in, holding an off angle. And actually, Abe, it looks like he has a nade in his hands. Hopefully not. That would give away his position. Shazam trying to do something with his op. Davies at the rock. Abe does get the kill onto Rush, so it's down to a 1-on-2. Shazam with the AWP working for this retake. And he's completely blinded. So this might just be around onto Splyce, but trust them to find a way to lose it. He's going to tap the bomb. No, Abe is going to hit the shot. So
nice.
Shazam falls 12-3 half.
Still an absolutely ginormous lead for OpTic to take this big of a lead on the CT side of Cobblestone, though. So the ultimate problem for Splyce is going to be trying to run a comeback on the CT side. And with what seemed to be like a large amount of indecisions and whatnot happening for this team, with how they were playing things so slowly and taking so long to make big decisions, as soon as they lost a player early on the round or Splyce put pressure that would force them to fall back, it's going to be a rough CT side if OpTic just go for these quick plays that force them to act on a dime. I'm not sure if Splyce is really going to be able to react to it all that well.
Well, Davey is maybe been playing a lot of Tomb Raider lately. He's got those dualies out. This is going to be see if he can get his Lara Croft on, doing a little bit of cosplay.
What?
Don't worry about it, Blue. Don't worry about it. There's a drop stack. OpTic is coming right into it, so these dualies are going to see some action.
So this is the perfect place for him too, because if you just get him into a huge stack of players, you can do mega damage, but it's a little risky. Still connecting the shots though. He takes down 2 before falling. Abe found a 3rd kill, and Arya's on the flight, gets a shutdown. Nobody gets outside of drop room, and Splyce, they'll pick up the pistol round in the second half.
I think maybe that Tomb Raider Lara Croft, the new one, she's using like a bow and arrow most of the time. I think the dualies, like the double pistol Lara Crofts, might have been before your time.
Those are like the 90s games, right?
Yeah,
I'm remembering like the PlayStation 1 games.
before your time.
Yeah. No, I was like 4 years old. It's
Yeah,
fine.
there we go.
Okay, so OpTic have the train going, and they're going to push towards long A this round. Jason R is the one to hold this, but he can absolutely hear the pattering of the footsteps moving out through long A, so he's made the call. The team's going to rotate over. He's just going to wrap out, but Abe just reveals himself out in the open. Come shoot me, bro. So Rush takes him down. There's immediate 2-kill traded back. Rush finding an additional pickup for the guys on OpTic here. And Professor Chaos, long range with the shotties. That's not going to work very well. Nap takes him down, and Davey finding another pickup for his team, manages to take down Rush, but it's a 2 versus 2 to try and close this out. They absolutely know where the final 2 of the CTs are. Shazam might still be a bit of a mystery, but he reveals himself, leaves himself out in the open, and now Naf is stuck in the alleyway, trying to pull off this clutch, but Ari's just going to roll right in and try to get the defuse on the bomb. Nothing he can do about that. Positionally, they were completely outclassed, and Splyce will find a second round.
Good damage dealt, though. A plant and 3 kills, so they're going to build up some bonus money. They're going to force some rebuys. They still have a P90 and a FAMAS is what they salvaged, so a second shotgun comes onto the board. Maybe trying to use the bonus money to gain up for lost ground. Also, I mean, you could put the shotgun towards drop and have that close-up battle, or towards broken wall, and it can be a very, very effective weapon. So maybe not too worried about bringing that into the 4th round. But Splyce off to a 2-0 start here in the 2nd round, and all 5 members of OpTic heading towards the B bomb site. There are 4 players of Splyce defending early on. 2 towards drop, 2 in the bomb site. And there is one of the shotguns close up towards broken wall.
Smoke rolls out, but OpTic don't care. They're just going to push through it. They pick up a first kill. Need to catch that player. They don't spot sitting behind them. Tavy going crazy with a shotty, but he only manages to find 1 kill despite being completely camouflaged. They don't even spot him when they start the initial take. Now Shazam's pushing forward. Professor Chaos finishes off Daps, but Shazam is going to wait for the peek from PC as he starts to push out now. Still not going for it, so Shazam, his entire team is crumbling around him. Not the only other player that's able to be proactive here. And all that waiting for nothing. And Professor Chaos just shuts down Shazam after he had waited all this time. Now Nap's going to roll back out. Gets hit in the face with a flashbang, but still takes down Abe. Down to a 1 versus 1. It's a long-range duel. Professor Chaos only has the shotgun. Have to switch over to his pistol to try and close this out, but he has security over the bomb. And technically has not given himself away as of yet. So Nap is going to take this very, very slowly to try and close this one out, but he makes the mistake. He peeks. Now he knows where he's at, and he's still got 45 seconds to play this.
Yeah, 45 seconds, and Professor Chaos is just going to start sweating bullets here, because he's got to watch both sides now. Naf could drop down, and he also knows he's in a losing battle with a shotgun at this range, so it's pistol versus rifle. I feel like Naf has almost spotted him on that left corner a couple times, but just hasn't taken the fight. And Naf hasn't even moved, not even trying to progress. Now he's going to drop down, and he sees Professor Chaos. This is going to prompt movement. PC playing this so conservatively, and he has to, and there's the shotgun. No armor to the head. Naf falls, but still, once again, so much damage dealt. 4 deaths on the CT side, expensive rebuys, and they're even going for an AWP to Arya. They have to drop that over, so they're going to be virtually out of money. And then another shotgun on the board for Professor Chaos. So Jason R is going to have the M4.
OpTic's lead will still remain secure for the time being. However, the first gun round, this is the big test now for the guys on Splyce. Is keeping these wins consistent, as we were talking about before. OpTic can still just absolutely run away with this lead if they let too many escape in the opposite direction. So they need to try and keep something going here, get themselves into around 8 or 9 rounds before this can really start to get competitive again. And the guys on OpTic taking their time, very slowly moving over here through long A. 3 players pushing it. Jason R, he's got, okay. Jason
What's happening?
He has his eyes on mid-connector, but completely ignores the gunfire that was thrown at long A just moments ago.
Okay, bomb site's lost. Plant's going to go down. Save call already for Splyce. No reason for them to even move anywhere. So that's going to be 13 for OpTic. I don't know.
Some very important business to attend to off screen.
I just like how I don't that's you're completely exposed to one angle and you're not even paying attention to it. So it's not just all on Jason R. There's no setup. There's no teammate there to back him up and cover him.
Are you triggered, Moses?
Usually am these days. I'm easily triggerable in the past week.
How on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is this match triggering you right now?
It's up there. It's up there with it's up there like an 8, 7.
It's pretty triggering, man. All right, so Splyce, they'll drop that round, and now is the inconsistency because they can still force up. but it involves 2 Mag 7s, a single M4, Abe on a Deagle, and Arya with an Op. So let's see how they can hold it against the guys on OpTic, who, for the time being, are looking like they're going to go for a pretty straightforward push over towards the B-bomb site.
This time the stack, Jason R once again pushing A halls, but the 4 members at B are going to wear the brunt of this attack. No one's watching drop though, so slight miscommunication. Of course, OpTic can't know that or else they would have been down drop already. But Naf is just probing to see if anyone's going to peek into his crosshairs, so just an early initial pressure put on that B bomb site, use a lot of the utility that Splyce had. So now they can wait for some repeaks, wait for some information gathering, and see if they want to re-execute later on. But no one from Splyce is really giving up any opportunity for kills.
And OpTic as well, still taking this very, very slowly as they wait things out, hoping for that over-aggression coming from Splyce. It happened a lot on the previous map, but I actually think they've learned their lesson quite a bit. There hasn't been a whole lot of that this time around, at least from what we've seen in these first couple of rounds. So they're playing a lot more passively, and this is playing against OpTic's favor now, as they relied on this heavily to find their initial entries back on cash. Now they have to actually just roll into this site. But in terms of these 1v1s, they were still winning a lot of those as well. So the guys in Splyce are not necessarily secure just as of yet. Now the play comes in. Davy's been smoked out, so it's all on Abe to try and hold things below the window, not peeking it, so they think they're secure, but Abe's going to start burning, sits in that position, finds one, but it's traded out, and this combined with Daps and Shazam's other kills still keeps OpTic in the lead. Professor Chaos going for another long-range kill against Shazam. Won't be able to grab it as Rush rushes out the doors and takes him down. And now it's all on Davy, who's giving himself away. Rush picking up that kill as well. Gives OpTic their 14th round.
It also destroys the economy of Splyce. They're going to have to buy into this round. And they have to try and get back on top. They can't let OpTic get towards 15 already. So we've seen a lot of shotguns on the board for Splyce in this half so far. We're going to see a couple more here at a PC and Davy. Although other than that, it's Jason R with the Deagle. 5-7 on Abe, a Deagle onto Arya as well. So starting to get desperation mode where they just need someone to become a hero. And it's not looking likely. Shazam is going to watch for this A-Halls push from very, very far back. And it looked like they were going to oblige him early on, but they've stopped. So it's going to be Jason R and PC to have a crossfire set up in those A-Halls.
Naf going for the wildfire spray into the smoke, trying to catch the over-aggression from Splyce. They do try to put a couple players in position to stop a platform push this time around. However, it's pretty light from OpTic. They've only got about 2 players poised to move themselves into the B site. 3 of the others are actually moving out towards long A right now, and they're going to get themselves into a battle versus Professor Chaos, who, again, has this shoddy and will actually get himself in a close-up duel. But now he needs to connect the shots. He's actually been extremely good with this Mag 7. So we'll wait and see now as Dap starts to peek. He's got support from a teammate, but down he goes. And so does his teammate. That hold does absolutely nothing. 0 damage done to anybody on OpTic. And now they're just going to walk into the A site.
Yeah, they even have Molotovs and smokes for all the choke points. So, I mean, Abe, once again, this is almost looking like it's going to be a save call again. No one's taking damage on the OpTic side, and then Splyce with no weapons and no utility to even attempt to retake. They're just going to have to hope that they have to bring these guns into the next round.
So OpTic having a huge lead, and now actually going to start to build up a huge economy here too. Even if Splyce maybe pick up a couple of these rounds after this, OpTic can still buy through them for the most part. Splyce have to pull out a miracle here if they want to have any chance of rounding this map back into their favor. Abe's also put himself into a position where he may get into a battle, but I think everybody on OpTic is going to give this up now. Like, all right, they've got pistols and maybe a shoddy at most, so we can just fall away from this one. Not going to risk our own guns. We're going to try to keep the economy healthy just in case Splyce put up a little bit more of a fight.
Still, though, I mean, they can drop some FAMASes over. I guess that would be those 3 members who survived can drop a couple FAMASes or drop their pistols over to the other members. But that's going to be the best they have is 2 FAMASes and a scout, 2 shotguns. So still, not a whole lot to go against. And OpTic has done a really, really good job of navigating the T side of this map to go away from the advantage of Splyce. I mean, just the other round when the AWP was the only strong weapon that Splyce had, OpTic executes a drop strategy and just completely circumvent it. So they're going to play passively once again to see if Splyce is going to try anything aggressive to catch him off guard, but nothing's going to come from this. So it's going to be a stalemate early on in this round one more time.
This is it. This is the big test now. Arya, he'll get aggressive up on platform yet again, looking for some shots with the scout, but the smoke's still covering a lot of this. Naf's the only player that's even out in the open right now. However, he's safely behind cover, so they won't be able to spot him. Gonna throw some flashbangs out there. Connection on to Davy, connection on to Arya. Perfect flashes from OpTic, but the play still not even coming into here. This is just to hold these guys back a little bit. They're actually lining up something very, very similar to what they did in the previous round yet again, which is 3 sitting just outside of the A-bomb site. They're going to send 2 inside of the mid connector this time around instead of all 3 towards long A. Shazam's going to be the player that watches out for aggression through long A, but Splyce will learn their lesson from the last round. They're actually going to hold back quite a bit, although it's not necessarily going to help them, as Abe's already fallen. Jason Art has a great flash from him, but he can't connect a single kill off of it. He only manages to bring Daps down to 4 HP.
Yeah, he didn't want to commit to that fight, and now he looks away at the wrong moment, and Stan finds him. Timing not going the way of Jason R. Davey has got to hold strong with this Mag 7, but he can't do it. Ari is all alone in a 1-on-4 with the Scout. This is going to be a 16-6 win for OpTic Gaming. 2 maps, very, very resounding wins. So that's speaking of resounding, that 1D rings out across the map. Ari does pick up an AK-47. Now Daps is low, but still the chances here of him winning this in a 1-on-3. Triangle of Doom setup as well, and Shazam's just going to end it. So 2 very strong wins for OpTic Gaming.
And that is about it for tonight. Not really a whole lot to add in that situation, as Splyce, a lot of problems it seems that they're going to have to work out now as they start up this season. Seemingly very, very weak, judging from that OpTic match.
Yeah, that was tough. It looked very different matchup than the one we saw at the minor, which was interesting, because Splyce did manage to take him down at the minor, but coming into this, a lot of miscues, not a lot of organization team-wide. So yeah, they get mauled. They're going to start 0-2, and I believe that moves OpTic to 4-0. So OpTic is now undefeated. They are tied for first place with Luminosity, who is also 4-0. Cloud9 is still 2-0. Enemy is 2-2. And then it falls down to 1-1. Notably, actually, Team Liquid is 1-3 after that 0-2 drop to Luminosity. So that's a little bit scary, but still early on in the season, plenty of opportunity for these teams to catch back up in the standings.
All right, guys. Well, the game is...
Wait.
Oh.
I do want to check this statistic, because I said I was going to during the match. How many triple kills came out for OpTic? Oh, this is ridiculous. This is dirty blue.
What is it?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 triple kills for OpTic in that, and 2 4-kill rounds for OpTic. So just, I mean, that is just a huge lack of trading on the OpTic side, or I mean on the Splyce side. And we mentioned that a couple times. The trades were just not coming out. Rush had 3 kills, 1 4-kill. Stan had 3 kills. I mean, that's just nuts. So that's a little bit dirty.
All right. Am I going to close out now?
Yeah, I'm good. I got my piece.
Right. Very good. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow around the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tune in then for more North American matches here at the ESL Pro League. But that's about it. Once again, my name is Blue. Joining me this evening was Moses, and we'll see you next time here at the ESL Pro League.